a while since I've been doing some updates on the Woody and the Bronco. And the main reason is this time of the year is car show time. Everybody's getting their cars ready to go for the springtime, summertime. And I have 30 years worth of customers that depend on me to get that stuff done. Once this month or so gets through, I'll be able to get back on the Woody. But I want to show you kind of a quick shop update of what's going on in here. You can see I've got this 70 Dodge Charger. I put a 6.1 Hemi fuel injected in it several years back, and all that is working out real well still. But he's had some work done on these front headlight stuff, and I'll show you a little bit closer here in a minute on how bad and poorly this work got done. Some of these custom shops don't ever try to create an actual working product. They just want to get it shoved together and charge you for it. So I'll show you a little bit about it. I've got that 37 Buick. It's kind of in the same boat. I'm trying to straighten out the wiring harness on it so I can get him. He's been going to shows on weekend. I've been putting it together enough for you to go to show, then bring it back, let me do a little work back and forth. I'll show you a little bit about it. I've got this 53 in here, Chevrolet truck. This is Kenny Jones. He just bought this one and he brought it straight to me, and I'm able to fix it and make it extremely nice for him to get this one done. I've been working on Kenny stuff for like 10 years. He's got two 67 Camaros I've been keeping on the road for him, and he does car shows non-stop with them, and they're doing outstanding. So I'll show you a little about it, but it won't be long. I'll be able to get back on this Woody and back on that Bronco and get it squared away. I still got the Galaxie over here in the side. I'm supposed to be working on in between stuff. He knows that I stay covered up, and he knows that he's going to help me work on it a little bit. I've got an A model in from California for Bruce, the same guy I'm doing the Woody for, and I'll be getting the rest of it before long and get that one fixed up. And then I've got a Bronco in that I've been talking to a guy for years about, quite a while, that it was a family vehicle. He's been watching my blogs and stuff, and he wants me to straighten the metal work. He bought a full body tub kit and stuff from Wild Horse, and it needs a lot of straightening alignment, so he was willing to bring it out and just leave it with me and let me work on it in between stuff. But other than that, I try my best not to bring in any more new customers or anything else, because it's just overwhelming for me. But the people I've been working on for years, I try to keep their stuff going. But it's just funny out here. I've got the A model from California. I've got the Bronco from North Carolina. That's from one end of the country all the way to the other end of the country. So let me give you a closer look at these jobs and what's involved in what I've got going right now. 70 Charger, and I put this Hemi motor in here several years back, fuel injected, and it's running good. But he carried his car to have, he didn't have the wiper, the vacuum headlight door operator in there, so this shop said they could put these actuators on here and make it work. Well, there's no limit switch. Well, the actuator's too long for it to hit the internal limit switches on it. So these things were just being engaged and just digging the whole time. And it created issues with wiring, burnt the alternator up. And then when you look in here at all the relays and stuff they've got in here, I'm going to have to get rid of all that stuff and completely redo this. There's like 7 relays trying to get these things to work, and they're never going to work until you have a way to stop the actuation of that motor. When it pulls the doors open, it just sits there and digs and digs. It's got to have a way to shut that motor off. So I can operate it with the headlight switch to open them and operate it to close them, but then you have to have a limit switch in there somehow. So I'm going to try to change the geometry to use that full stroke and use the internal limit switches in that motor, which they never did. And they've worked on it a lot, and it will never work until you do that. But you can see some of the wiring they do. These little connectors are going to oxidize and not work. This is just a little piece of tin, and just a disaster. They had the bottom of it hooked to the lower valance, so when it would close the doors, it would shove the lower valance down. What a mess. I mean, it is really a mess. You can see how they did this wire coming out of the marker light, and they've just got it stuck underneath the bulb out the side. And I mean, this is a hot rod shop that did that, so I don't know about that. Then my 37 here, it came in for the wipers not working. Came in for a few more little knick-knack stuff I've gotten squared away. But you can see the wiper, one of the first things to go in the dash, and it really needs to be checked and tested before you put all the dash in. So the angle that these are in, they would have never worked from day one. You can see I've got that one pulled out, and have to turn the angle a little bit to get the wiper to work. And over here on the floor is the transmission for it, and it's all broke and bent, and this would have never worked from day one. So and the wiper system's the first thing to go in. So to get to all that, you can see inside here I've had to take the entire dash out just to get to that. Such a simple little job has turned out to be a huge job. But with that out, I'll be able to fix the air conditioner that ain't right over here. I'll be able to move all this dash up and make it fit the way it's supposed to be. I'll be able to redo his windows and all that stuff. Pretty cool car. Has a new model Camaro interior and all in it, but it just needs a little tweaking, and the wipers is what's opened the can of worms on this one. I'll show you inside here. I've just got done tweaking up the engine. It had a few little issues that I've squared away. This is a 2010 Camaro LS motor, and I had the computer laying up here for the anti-lock brakes. I was able to disconnect and rewire it, get that off of there, and cleaned and painted and got all the wires and hoses off the top and run them around, and just really cleaned all that up and got that working pretty good. So hopefully I can get this squared away and get it out of here. This is the 53 Chevrolet. Kenny Jones just bought this one. He got in it real reasonable. As I've been working on it, it's one of the most original, best little trucks I've seen in a 53, because the cab corners aren't rusted out. Underneath it, nothing's rusted out. It's really in great shape. This thing's been sitting for years. We cleaned the motor up. I rebuilt the carburetor, put a pointless distributor in it, and hit the key and it fired right up and ran. So really stoked about that. Pulled his wheel cylinders, did a master cylinder on it. Brakes are working good. I've got the doors off. I've repainted the jams, and we're fixing to paint the inside of the doors and just tweaking it out. So this one is a pretty neat little truck. Man, I'm about to get it together. He's gone to Kentucky now to get a new side glass and vent window in it. But yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on. I'll show you my ones outside here that just came in, and then I've got to get back to work. Alright, out here in my side building is a Galaxie. This is a bad boy, over 600 horsepower, I think it's 650, stroked out 460, 5-speed. All the top of this glass was rusted out, so I've went in there and I've repaired all that, and that looks a lot better. Now it's time to sand this thing down, and I'm going to paint this semi-gloss black. This one I'm just fitting in between stuff. He's going to come in and help me with it a little bit, but this will be a nice little sleeper when it's out on the road. Then let's go out in my other building. Alright, it's kind of hard to see out here, but out here in my side building, this is the one from North Carolina, and 74 Bronco. He's got all the wild horse sheet metal on it that I've got to line up and get nice and straight. I love working on these little trucks. I've worked on a lot of them, so this won't be nothing much to it, but I'm trying to fit him in between stuff as well. And then here's my little Ford model that's from Escondido, California, and you see it's in a box and a million pieces. But this won't be nothing. When you don't have to modify and custom make stuff, they're easy to put back together. But it's a car in a box. So now you can see what all I got going on. I basically work out here by myself, and I've got cars everywhere. That's from doing this for about 30 years. I've got customers I've had for a long, long time. They depend on me to take care of these. So I do have to shuffle them around a little bit. It keeps me extremely busy. I want to give a big shout out to Bruce Hay and Nathaniel Moon for dealing with me on my time, because I'll get back on theirs and get theirs done here before long. But it's just a lot to do by yourself. So I guess now it's time for me to get back to work and get some of these other ones out so I can get back on those jobs. So let's get to work.